Hey guys, welcome back to I Married a Weeb. This is episode 8, and today we're going to talk about tournament arcs.
Loosely. I don't think we're not the experts on it, but my gosh, one of the best parts of a lot of shows.
Or a lot of annoying filler.
True. Yes. Why don't you, I guess just start off with what's a tournament arc?
Yeah, so a tournament arc in a lot of shows are just battles between people. Sometimes there's a goal at the end, like in Yu Yu Hakusho where they get a wish, or some tournaments are just to see who's the best. So
it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, it's essentially our main characters are thrown into a, single elimination type bracket kind of deal, and it ends up just being awesome because it's just a bunch of fights, and that's kind of what you want in some of these shows.
Yeah, and what's great about tournament arcs sometimes is during the regular episodes, you don't get to see in depth a lot of the characters, so you get to see, maybe some more emotional aspects. Maybe they're being overcome in a fight and then they come out on top. You get to see cool moves also, and it's also a great way to shoehorn in characters that would have been impossible or too hard to introduce in later aspects of the show.
Nope, just have them quietly walk in and just start kicking ass, and you're like, let's hear it. And now they're... Honestly, it's also, if you're in the middle of a manga or something of that sort and you start a tournament arc, you can start releasing them, see how people like that character probably, and be like, all right, throw them into the cast.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish they did that with Pikkon from Dragon Ball Z.
We do see him later,
a little
though.
bit.
It's just
not enough.
Yeah,
Everyone
he was
loves
so
Pikkon.
cool.
But yeah, I mean, with that basis, it's in a lot of shonen. It doesn't even need to be fighting. I mean, I think there's some. You can consider sports anime to have tournament arcs. You can, I think reading around, I heard there's like some other types. I'm not 100% sure, but in most of our cases, it's generally the fighting ones.
Yeah.
But,
we haven't really watched anything else, other than battle arcs.
Exactly.
Battle tournaments.
So with this, we're just going to dabble on a couple shows that got it, some that did it right. And, we took a look at some best of lists on the internet because the internet knows the most, I guess. And our favorite pick is, I guess, everyone's favorite pick.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shows that I haven't watched that, I even mentioned to you before we started, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on every single list that I would look at, and I've never watched it. Don't ever plan on watching it.
And it's a shame. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was phenomenal, and honestly, they didn't really wait around, I think, and I could be totally talking out of turn because it's been so long since I watched it, but like the first part of that show, it just instantly jumps to he goes to this island and he's got to fight his way to the top. I think Seto Kaiba maybe organized it. Again, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, feel free to actually help me with that, but it was just, battle after battle, and it was great as a kid because, got to see what Yugi's got up his sleeve just in case. Oh my gosh. But Yu-Gi-Oh's got it. Another show that a show that we've both not seen, which a lot of people are always like, wow, you haven't seen that, because I feel like it's a necessity, but just haven't gotten to, is Naruto. Everyone loves Naruto.
Naruto, and I think I saw One Piece too on a list.
Listen, I've watched some One Piece, and I like it. You're the hesitation. Well, that and the fact that it's over 1,000 episodes, which it's like, can you even get into that show at this point? I think we should try it.
It's definitely, that's what we should have done during quarantine. We should have said, you know what, screw work. I'm going to binge. How many, like if you did 8 hours, what's 80 times 20? 20 minutes? Well, you probably have to do 23. We could have crushed it is what
I'm sure we could have, but, video games. Anyways.
And actually working.
Which, hey, can't complain. With that said, what about this? When we have a child, when they're ready to start watching anime, we start One Piece. And then by the time they're 28, by the time they're 28, we'll be able to watch through the entire show. It'll be lovely. Or our kids will hate anime and they'll be like, no, you two are dorks. We don't want to be anything like you.
And then that's going to taint their whole perspective and they're not going to watch anything else.
All right, well, I'm sad. That's okay. But yeah, Naruto, it's definitely something I want to check out at some point. I know it's got its little quirks, and I don't even know why I'm hesitating, but I do want to watch it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
What essentially this is going to boil down to is we'll just say a couple more shows, and then we'll just get into the king of tournament arcs.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I know which one's going to be our king, but I didn't. If you wanted to talk about tournament arcs, I can say one that's been on every single list and definitely isn't my top, but I would dare say maybe my second top just because it's so memorable. Do you want me to just start, or do you want to keep talking a little bit?
No, go ahead.
So, the Masters tournament in Dragon Ball Z. We were just talking, right?
No,
that is Dragon Ball.
Well,
when does it?
The original Dragon Ball had every section of Dragon Ball has had tournament arcs.
Oh, sure. I'm talking about the one when you have teen/adult Goku, whatever the hell.
You know, we've been through this. I've told you. It's original Dragon Ball Z starts.
I know you do. When Raditz.
We literally just had that conversation.
Yes. Okay. When Gohan is yes. Okay. So this is the end of Dragon Ball.
Hi guys. Welcome to me and Danielle disputing the same thing again.
So the end of Dragon Ball.
The original Dragon Ball series.
The original Dragon Ball.
Which there were several tournaments in it, but she is going to, I guess, pick this one out for some reason. Let's hear why.
Yeah, because I like it because you have my boy Piccolo, who isn't my heartthrob yet. He's still evil, which is still kind of cool.
Yeah, this is the first time we get to see Piccolo, actually.
Yeah, and Piccolo's there under a pseudonym, and you have Master Roshi in there.
Which, honestly, they did that every time as like a poll. They're always like, who's this character? This is their name. That wasn't their name. Like when Roshi was fighting as Jackie Chun.
Yeah. And then you have the only shining moment that she has, Chi-Chi, is in the tournament too.
Yeah.
And, she's obviously in it because she's mad at Goku because when they were little, Goku made a promise that they would get married, and now she's here like... She's there to claim what is rightfully hers. And
I don't even know what Chi-Chi's thinking. Goku is the worst husband on the planet.
Listen, she saw him as a little kid whip some serious booty. That's going to make any girl go gaga.
I forget, though. Did she know that he has a tail? Did she ever see him with a tail?
Yeah, because remember they're flying on the Nimbus and she grabs his tail and then he goes crazy.
And to me, that's something you definitely want to tell someone in the dating phase. Hi. I'm actually an alien.
I have a tail. Well, he does by the time they're married. I mean, I think after that point, they remove his tail because he doesn't have it in the tournament.
This sidebar's got to go.
Anyways, I'm not the one who started it.
Listen, I know I'm already tired of my own idea.
So yeah, I think it's every year they have the World Martial Arts Tournament. Mm-hmm. Goku, he's been gone for a long time, comes back. No one recognizes that it's Goku because he's classed up.
Yeah. Well, and he's way bigger than when they said he grew up like crazy.
He went from little baby Goku to I'm a man Goku. And yeah, you got Piccolo there. He's there because he wants to defeat Goku, so that's his mission because he killed his dad. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who else is in there. Krillin's in there. I'm trying to think of the back of your shirt.
This is totally not even on my radar. It's a good tournament, but I'm more in the Dragon Ball series. I'm more into.
No, you can't. No, you can't say that. It changed. So many characters in that show change.
That's great, and that's fine.
Look at Piccolo. He went from being, I'm going to murder you, to still having a little bit of that at the end, and then you transfer into Dragon Ball Z. He comes back, I'm skipping ahead, and we're outside the realm of tournament arcs, but I'm talking about the evolution. Piccolo's had a long evolution. It started there, and it doesn't even end when he takes Goku's son away and train. It's like one of, but you, listen, I just want you to understand that my boy Piccolo, which is I think basically why I'm getting so heated trying to defend this arc, is because Piccolo is my dude. Oh my gosh, do you know what? Did I have him on my top 10.
I don't think you did, so he's not your
Oh, okay. I'll just stop.
dude.
I like that.
Honestly, I think this is the first time in our podcast history where we're kind of disagreeing. And it shows. But yes, back to tournament arcs. Dragon Ball Z is full of, a lot of these shows are full of them. With Dragon Ball Z, you know, the Cell games is a very widely loved one. It's got everyone's favorite characters introduced. Hercule. He is not an awful, annoying, crazy dude.
I was just...
I don't
You're
like
being
him.
sarcastic.
Yes, I'm being sarcastic. Crazy. Honestly, I do like the Cell games. It was a high-risk, high-reward tournament. So essentially there's this thing that was created. It's an android bug thing named Cell that's been just ripping the earth to shreds, and he creates his own tournament in which all of our heroes are like, well, let's go. And they
kind of have to. They have to fight.
That's what I'm saying. That's why our hero said, let's go. I'm not saying that someone down the street with a handgun said it. So they end up showing up to meet with Cell, and it was a very interesting point in the show because, yes, everyone's kind of, it's almost like a fight to the death kind of scenario. It's very serious, and this is the one time, not going to spoil anything too crazy, but this is the one time that Gohan is like the
poor
coolest.
Gohan.
He, again, Goku, horrible father, horrible husband. All he wants to do is fight.
Chi-Chi keeps him locked up in his room. All he can do is study, which I get it. The kid needs to build that big brain. Because you can't fight forever, but...
At the same time, he's got super strength. He can just go into construction.
Listen,
Chi-Chi's getting a little crazy.
You carried and you just birthed a Saiyan. You can't expect him to be 100% human like you.
Well, that's parenting, isn't it? Wow. Our kids will listen to this someday and be like, look, you can't... Anyways, that's how our kid talks, by the way. But yeah, so that was a great arc. You know, there is... Not that it was a tournament, but when... the Boo saga rolls around and they're fighting their way underground. That kind of had its stages. It wasn't a tournament arc, but that was nice. But anything that's structured fighting, I'm in.
Well, and you got to talk about even just a short end, like a period to the sentence, since we're talking about Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament of
Power, absolutely. I wasn't there yet.
Oh, I didn't know if you were putting the period on that sentence and we were moving on to the next. But
that's called an assumption, ladies and gentlemen. This is marriage. No, Tournament of Power actually might take... see, I don't know if that's heathen type stuff to say that takes the cake. That was a sick tournament.
No, I was so bored. Do you remember? Were all of those episodes out when I think we had to wait? That was so boring.
Well, when you wait, yeah.
Oh my
but
gosh.
But the fight with Jiren, it was sick.
Okay, that was 2 episodes, people. There was like, how many episodes? How many episodes was that whole thing?
I don't know. Google. You're asking me questions I don't have the answer to. I'm not going to say it took the cake, but I enjoyed it.
Well, you almost did, so I'm just checking.
I almost did. And that could be a contradiction, but I don't think I fully committed it.
We're going to have to play it back and listen to it.
Nope. I'm just going to say that I'm going to go back on my word here. But yes, that's enough about Dragon Ball. That's a good tournaments, and honestly probably shaped the way tournaments went because the original Dragon Ball, that was the name of the game. Those tournaments were sick.
Yeah.
You know, Krillin with that technique of, dude, Goku pops over the wall. Krillin, you don't have a nose.
Yeah, you can't smell it, you Dumbo.
So this character, Krillin, it's a perfect intro into me going to tell you about this, whether you like it or not, is Krillin is fighting against the stinkiest dude. Like, his fighting style just kind of incorporates the fact that he just stinks like dog do. and Krillin is getting beat. And then, yeah, you notice Krillin doesn't have a nose in the show. And then finally Goku breaks that wall and goes, Krillin, you can't smell, dude. That's because that's what we were all saying to the TV. It's like, but how?
Yeah.
And boom. You know what?
Goku saying what we really needed Krillin to hear.
Absolutely. What other shows do we got?
Well, we got My Hero Academia, which
is
a
slight one.
Yeah, I think it was only... I mean, the whole tournament, let's say, if it was 15 episodes, the actual fighting, I think, was only 5. It wasn't a lot.
Don't care about any opinions on this one. I'm going to go ahead and say it was a pretty lame one. I was happy to get a little bit tournament style, but man, I really hope that they eventually hit us with another one because it's got too many. You've got the perfect show with all these different characters, different powers. Fighting would be awesome. And then here we are with, go.
See, but I think thinking back to it, was it shorter? Yeah. Could have been cooler? Yeah. But
Well, there you go.
but no, but when you think about it, I think the reason why it's on the list is because in every single tournament arc we're going to talk about, our hero who we're rooting for is going to come out on top. And in My Hero Academia, in I think the first fight, Midoriya is out, which is,
It's definitely
based on the show, he's going to be the number one hero, and he doesn't win the sports festival. Are you kidding me? But you go through My Hero Academia and you just want Midoriya to do one thing right. And you want this tournament to be that one thing he does right. And he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't.
I know, but at the same time, that's kind of endearing because it makes you as a viewer and for your mind, like, your heroes might not always come out on the top. And all of these other shows set you up where they are. So should we have every single... Well, and we haven't watched every single show that has a tournament arc, but,
you don't.
I would say
I
a
don't
majority of them, who you're rooting for, is going to be the winner.
I don't know. At that point...
And that's not life.
It was way too early for a tournament arc. No one was ready. All their powers were stupid, and they kind of knew it. But no, when I have a tournament arc, let's see some proper fighting. You can learn during the tournament for sure, but I don't think by throwing two people who don't even know what they're doing, I don't know. It's still good. I'm just saying I don't.
It's not our top, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm just
Hey,
being the devil's advocate
I
for the
appreciate
episode.
that.
Or for the
truly
arc.
do. I truly do. Trying to think, Hunter x Hunter. You guys may have heard of us. That's the absolute meme at this point. You've heard us talk about Hunter x Hunter. And there's a section where they have to do a little bit of a tournament to get to... Well, they're just doing it... What's their motive at first?
Making money, baby. They got to get the money.
They're making cheddar, yeah. So you get paid to go up after a certain level in this huge tower.
Heaven's Arena.
Heaven's Arena. Hey, I was getting there. And so these two kids are like, yeah, why not? Sounds fun.
They knew it was an easy way to make quick cash, and they needed it.
Yeah, Killua did for sure because he'd done it before.
True.
So that was just a nice arc of. That's where the fighting started to escalate, and that's what I like. They went from a holy cow, and that was still they got shown right when they got to a certain level in that tower that they weren't strong enough. So it does happen in other ones. They clearly weren't. But then what this show did is they then go and start learning a little bit more, and now they can fight proper, and then the tournament continues a bit. That one was good. Hisoka, still always the creepiest dude around, but he's a good anti-hero.
Yeah, and that whole Heaven's Arena arc is really cool because they learn how to use their nen, which the time constraints that they have to learn that nen in the tournament arc or fighting in Heaven's Arena is just crazy, which they shouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
Stress will do that.
A testament to how strong they are, I guess. But
yeah,
I would even think I don't want to like spoil anything if you're watching it, but I always think in Hunter x Hunter the dodgeball episode when they're on the island. For some reason when I think tournament arc, I think of that. It's not.
Yeah, it's not, but it's definitely it's
got
fun.
that feeling. I think that
it's definitely fun, and it does span a couple episodes, and it seems like it is kind of a bunch of one-on-ones that during that dodgeball match, it's kind of a sequential of like who to knock out. I get you. Mm-hmm. You're wrong.
You're wrong, and I hate you.
But so Hunter x Hunter did it good. And honestly, I think, we've had experience watching plenty, and I know there's a lot of shows that have it, but the show that seems to be undoubtedly one of the, just not only did they do it best, but it kind of defined the show, is, and man, it's between Hunter x Hunter and this show. Yu Yu Hakusho, I think it's my favorite. Like, as I think about it, Hunter x Hunter, I am in love with that show, but there's something about Yu Yu Hakusho. But it doesn't matter because the same guy made both, so he wins regardless.
True.
He's the man.
And, you know, you can look it up. It's either 1 or 2 on any list you're going to find. So it's not just our opinion.
Yeah, it seems to be a consensus.
It's usually, the consensus of most people who watch it.
Yeah.
And going back to what I said in the beginning about tournament arcs is, I think what I like the most about it is you get to meet all of these characters that eventually help Goku. Oh my gosh. What am I talking about?
I don't know.
That help Yusuke later on in the show.
Yeah.
Or later on in that in the tournament games. So people who are betted against you as your enemy end up being your friend. And I think that's one of the most charming things at the end of it.
Absolutely. And throughout the show, it's not just, there's one tournament that for sure defines it and everyone loves from it. But the show is kind of just a sequence of tournaments with story, interspersed between it. When Yusuke is still super fresh to being this spirit detective, he ends up needing to find Genkai to get trained. Well, right when this is happening, Genkai's kind of doing a tournament to see who gets to take her power. So you get your first tournament arc really early. You've got him, Kuwabara. It's great. I thought it was structured awesome. It wasn't just fights. There was also like getting through the forest and
Yeah, you had to, which is how we learned that Kuwabara had that like spiritual sensory,
awareness,
I guess. Yeah, awareness, which was kind of cool and sets him up to being part of the team.
Oh, absolutely, which is a good thing about this show, and it uses the tournament arcs to keep, during these tournaments is when how they're raising their skills, and it's kind of a do or die kind of situation, which is especially seen a little bit after, this Genkai thing. Actually, maybe it's not that far after. I'm not sure.
No, I think he's fighting a little bit because remember Kuwabara and him, they save Yukina. There's a little bit of in between because then that's where Tagoro meets Yusuke.
That's true.
And then the dark tournament happens.
Yes. Did they do the 3 beasts, or was that when the heck does the 3 beasts happen?
I think it was before the dark tournament because
maybe not. Man, I love this show to death, but I just can't remember.
I feel like it was. That can't be after the dark tournament. Because after the dark tournament, they go into that house and do those trials.
Oh, true. So true.
So
Anyways,
it was before.
So after a little bit more show, they get into what is the epitome of this show and what is considered by many, not even just us two, to be one of the better arcs, and it's the dark tournament arc.
The creme de la creme of tournaments.
It is a chunk of this show. Yeah,
isn't it an entirety of what season was that? 2? Because season 3. It doesn't really break it up
into seasons, but a lot of episodes, and it just basically takes it, and it is a structure of you're even getting in a lot of this even story behind some of the random people that he's fighting. So it's very fleshed out. You get these nice intros, and sometimes there's a little bit of like talking before each fight. So kind of, you're almost mentally getting prepared with the main characters, which is awesome, and realizing, wow, you're in some deep duty here. You might want to power up, which it's always how a shonen goes. You're clearly too weak. Get yourself ready, blah blah blah. But there's just some awesome enemies. Even in heck, there's a team that they fight against in this that you end up loving by the end of it, like the big drunk guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I mentioned before. How a lot of these, not even in just Yu Yu Hakusho, but some of the other arcs where you come out with friends. It's not, these aren't always just your enemies. Sometimes you can make really great friendships or have a great, sidekick or someone who's going to maybe help you later down the road. Yu Yu
Hakusho, man. So in this arc, I don't know, I can't really delve too much into it. It's just, this is the arc to watch.
Like, so we're not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil any upsets. I don't want to, I don't know. I think to fully do it is, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but essentially, this is Yusuke's huge moment where he takes on someone that, in the show, you don't think he's going to be able to touch. Up until that fight, you're like, wow.
Well, and who is that? You haven't even said the poor guy's name.
Tagoro, you said
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
I think you said it. Yeah, you said because when we were talking about the three beasts, you're like, well, no, Tagoro.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
okay.
Tagoro is this just beast of a man who ends up. This is my one spoiler. He turns into one of the ugliest characters.
Yeah, his level up is not beautiful.
It is, for lack of better terms, atrocious.
It's not a Dragon of the Darkness flame. It's not.
But that is also what's so good about this tournament is you've got your Kubara, you've got your Yu Hakusho, which is
That's okay. I called Yu. I called him Goku. It's okay.
You've got Yusuke, you've got Kubara, who are these two, you know that they're main characters. But then you've got also Hiei and Kurama, who were actually enemies at one point in the show, now join this team, and you're like, man, I think they get swindled into it, but because this is to save Earth, or like this is to save. Yeah, because the bugs are all attacked.
No, the bugs are from the rip in the next one with what's his name? Oh,
Those bugs
long,
come out plenty.
long leg. There's always bugs.
It's
though,
embarrassing, and
flying
honestly, I will take the heat here. I do say this is one of my favorite shows, but I am getting it all mixed.
Well, again, as I've said once, I'll say it again. We watch things too quickly.
Yes.
And I think that's why. I think we should look it up. Maybe on, what's that, like, dictionary, like Webster's Dictionary for slang. There has to be a word for the effect that you get when you binge watch a show. You can't remember.
You know you've seen it, but it's not there anymore. I think it's just because you rip through it. It doesn't commit to deep enough memory. We don't sleep on it enough.
That's a bad thing to say, though. You're saying that Yu Yu Hakusho, an episode in that, isn't enough to commit to memory?
Okay.
Although, who am I to talk? Because I've seen it twice all the way through and on the third rewatch, and I still can't.
And honestly, this is where I'll put the disclaimer. We're not claiming in this podcast to be experts. So if you guys are just steaming right now, because like, it's clearly this, I'm sorry. You're the master. I agree with that.
And listen, people, we're a little flustered. We're sitting in a really hot closet.
It is scorching.
It doesn't help when the attic access is right there and it's 1,000,000 degrees and it's just feeding right in here. When we open that door, it's like an ice box.
We're not in this closet is the day I'm going to be able to. We're going to say it once every episode until. But no, so yeah, this arc.
Do we even want to say what the end goal, like, do we want to, I don't even know if it's a spoiler because he might say it before, but what Tagoro's end goal for this arc is.
Go for it.
For the tournament arc. Well, he's basically fighting Yusuke to draw out his full potential.
Yeah.
Because he wants him like, what other show do we watch that Hunter x Hunter. Like,
Hisoka.
Yeah, Hisoka and Gon's relationship. Hisoka, 100% evil guy. I'm not saying Tagoro. He's had some evil moments, but in his heart of hearts, he's good.
Yeah.
Hisoka's training Gon, pushing him because he wants him to be the best.
To eventually fight and kill him.
Yeah.
And that's Tagoro here, too.
And Tagoro is putting Yusuke in these situations during the tournament arc to reach down and make him the best.
Yeah.
Because eventually his end goal is he wants to be defeated by Yusuke.
Yeah. Which, some weird state of minds in these anime, but yeah. And so that tournament, it's Yu Yu Hakusho is a must if you haven't picked that up by now. But that tournament is like the tournament. So if you have seen another anime and you're like, wow, actually I do like that structure, Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay.
Yeah.
There is at least one more tournament after that. I don't want to go too into what that is, but we can say it happens in Demon World, which is pretty cool. And that's the thing with these shonens. Even though it's the same equation, because basically get stronger, beat said enemy. Okay, cool, now I'm powerful. Psych, no, you ain't. Come back, repeat.
That is the one thing. I know he's still a teenager. He's got a lot of growing up to do, but even across a lot of different things, I just always want to see my boys being their 100% best. Just like when I'm watching Sailor Moon right now, I just want my girl to stop being a little crybaby And I just want her to be the best. I think that's what we all wish for in these.
Is she 12 in that show?
No, she's in middle school. I think she's 6. No, I just read it. I think she's 14 because I was like, oh, she likes Tuxedo Mask and he's in college. I was like, that's a little creepy.
Well,
I mean, he is fine, but
just because he's like Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, you're not lying, but even without his mask, he's fine, okay?
He's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so that for me 100% takes the cake. Best tournament arc. Very biased because I am just absolutely infatuated with the show.
Well, and you know what? Because it's done more, circling all the way back to the beginning, we talked about sometimes anime arcs or tournament arcs are fillers. This wasn't a filler. It had a purpose. It served its purpose. You got to see people get new moves, level up, rebuild their friendships even more, get new friends. There was a purpose to this arc, which was deeper than I need to catch up to the manga, or the manga's run out, so now I need filler episodes.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It's
that.
a little bit deeper than the one I was already trash talking earlier of, it's a school competition, fight you little preteens who don't know what you're doing, which I love that. They got Midoriya who, I break a bone every time I'm fighting
so
someone.
Frustrating.
You should go against this guy who's the hot shot who can burn you alive or freeze you alive. I don't know. I don't know. But the tournament arc, beautiful plot device. Seen a lot in anime. We clearly have missed some stuff. But if you have a favorite, yell at us on Twitter or Instagram or even just our podcast website, which I don't know the exact URL, but it's on Podbean. Thanks, Podbean, for making it so easy to have a podcast.
Yeah, this is a free ad. This is not, Podbean didn't pay us. We're promoting this for free.
Yes. It's made things way easier. I didn't think podcasting could be so easy. So if you guys, I'm telling you, go start one, but still listen to ours. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my whole spiel on it, I think. I don't know if I can talk more. We can go more into detail, but that's just the basics of it. Wonderful plot device. Usually leads to some great episodes, great upsets, great, things. And sometimes it's filler. But that's all for me.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say.
All right, well, say goodbye, Daniel.
Bye.